Okay, hello.
Oh, we're live now.
Okay, hi.
Off to a great start.
Yeah, that caught us by surprise, didn't it?
Just a little bit. And we even scheduled it being like, 3:15.
We did. And now here I'm going to start messing with my hair, but ooh, look at that. Okay, so I'm Kelly.
And I'm Amy.
And this is tea time. And yay.
Oh, I don't know if you can see
Oh my
it.
gosh, it didn't show up.
White balance. Okay, that's design flaw on my part.
But the front is pretty. Sort of. Can you see it? Or the glare? Anyway.
Well, we tried.
Well, Okay, so today we are going to be talking about The Silence of Trees by Valya Lupescu. And Amy made notes, so and I did not. So I'll probably let you do your thing. You want to start? Just start overall. What'd you think? How did you like it overall? Impression.
I thought it was okay. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars because it wasn't terrible, but I also didn't really want to just pick it up and sit and read. I don't know. There were definitely some things that I had issues with, and we will talk about that for sure.
Yes, and more.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was okay. Like a good. It was good.
It was okay. I gave it actually 3.5, and then of course because Goodreads doesn't have half stars, I bumped it up to 4. I started at 3 actually because this was not at all what I thought it was going to be, and so at first I was like, well, this sucks. But the more I kind of let go of what I expected it to be and just went into what it was, I liked it a lot better. But yeah, I had issues with it too, because it was definitely 3.5. I mean, I wouldn't have probably done 4 on its own, but since I didn't want to go down to 3. I liked it better than that. So sorry, my hair's really bugging me. Okay.
Well, I'm glad that you liked it better than 3.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess. Well, first of all, I'll just start and just say I thought it was going to be a lot more supernatural than it was. I thought by the blurb, because I didn't read any reviews or anything before I went into this, so I really thought by the blurb that something was going to happen, and then all of a sudden, the gates to the supernatural were going to open up, and all this stuff was going to start happening to her, convincing her to
let go of the past,
let go or let it out, talk about her past. That is not what happened. I don't even remember
of it, but there wasn't
yeah, it was really thin. I don't remember what happened. There wasn't even really any inciting incident that made her start.
No,
doing
that
this.
was the thing.
Why now?
There were no reasons for why the things were happening. I was just the author just up and decided, okay, well, I don't have anything else to write about now, so let's just make her say this now.
This is a good time to start.
No, I didn't like that.
But there was, I guess I expected there to be some event happen. Maybe, I don't know, she ran into somebody from her past, and it really made her start thinking about it.
The letter kind of, you could say, was a little bit of a push for her to want to share her
that's
past.
true, because it was empty, so she didn't know,
who it
was from. That's true. That could have been it.
Yeah, that would have been a good catalyst, I guess.
Yeah,
because she really couldn't let that go. She tried, and
it didn't work.
No, sure did not.
It didn't work.
No.
Okay,
but
you want to get into it? This is our craft for the day. I'm gonna move this to the floor so I don't.
That's probably a good idea.
We decided to color eggs, but that's not my point. That.
This is not what our eggs are gonna look like.
No. What did they call? What's that craft called? Do you remember?
Pasonki or something. I should know because I looked up a YouTube video on how to do it right before this, but I don't. Let's start with a P.
It did start with a P.
PSY.
Well, anyway, It's a
figure it out.
major process, traditional Ukrainian craft art of decorating eggs.
That they do for Easter.
That
Did they do it for Easter maybe?
Yeah, I think it was Easter. Palm Sunday. Didn't they do it on Palm Sunday?
Oh yes.
So yeah. Anyway, it's very involved, and it seems like it takes a lot of artistic ability to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to color with markers.
Yeah. So like when they do the Ukrainian eggs, they use wax and dyes and all that. And that's not what we're gonna do here. No.
No, so we have eggs, and actually, I forgot. I always get farm eggs, so they're always brown. So we don't even have a like white thing to start with, but that's all right. We'll just mess around and color eggs. So okay.
Okay.
So we're going to have fun with coloring while we talk.
I'm gonna let people know that we're live right now.
Oh.
So
hopefully somebody will come see us.
Yeah, like maybe someone will come join us.
We're just
Talk here.
Talking to ourselves.
So hi guys. Hello. Going live on the YouTube channel.
Come see us.
Oh gosh. We don't need to listen to this.
Yeah. We don't need to listen to ourselves.
No, we're doing great.
We're good.
We're good.
Really should have like fixed my hair before we did this, but okay, we're just gonna do. Well, that's worse. Okay. Yeah, I know y'all love watching me fix my hair. Okay. Anyway, eggs.
And I have allergies, so I apologize for my sniffles.
Okay. The book. Yeah. We might want to talk about the book.
Let's talk about the book. Yes. Well, I guess what do you want to? What should we discuss first?
How about basic? Yeah, I'm gonna get these are wet still. Basic premise.
Basic premise.
Since it's not at all what I thought it was. I thought she's like 70 years old, and I did not expect her to be that old.
No.
I thought more like a 40s, 50s. So I guess I don't know. I didn't know it was World War II based. I did not know that. I don't think. Did I?
Was that the war that they were in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I missed that. I don't.
Yeah. World War II.
I struggled with this book.
Yeah. Because
it was Nazi Germany, right?
Yes. I mean, all the blurb talked about was, she snuck out of her house when she was 16. Her family was killed while she was away. It didn't give a time frame or anything. And that now, her current life in Chicago and her ghosts are coming back to haunt her. That's what the blurb says. It was beginning World War II when she was the 16-year-old, and she snuck out of the house to see a fortune teller. And yes, while she was gone, it was, I guess, probably much like now, the Ukraine was very much a battleground. So the Germans were invading, and the Russians were like, they're supposedly to help the Ukrainians, but they were just as bad because the Germans were grabbing boys to serve in their military, and the Soviets were grabbing them. And if they caught a Ukrainian who'd been grabbed by the Germans, then they decided he was a traitor and would kill him. And so, I mean, yeah, it was kind of a mess.
It was a huge mess.
Sorry, my hair's so bad. So anyway, yeah, she did, but it was, I don't know what group of soldiers it was that came along and burned her home.
The Germans.
The Germans?
I thought it was the Germans.
Okay, the Germans took her, well, it turns out, she thought her whole family was in there. Turns out it wasn't, but she thought her whole family was burnt in the house. They burned her house down.
It was just her mom and her sister.
Her mom and her, yeah.
Right?
One of her sisters. Yes. So, anyway, then it starts, that's kind of in the beginning. And then it starts going back and forth. She's 70 years old. So it's been, they said, 50 years since the end of the war. And so she's 70 and she's living in Chicago with her family.
Yeah.
Basically. And that's
all of that confused me so much. Like, we would jump between the past and the present without a word of warning. They would literally be on the same page, and it would just be like a space, and then we're back in the past. And I was so confused for so long. And then I also was just really struggling with like remembering that the present was like present day America, kind of. I was thinking like, oh, this is like the early 1900s. Like, what are phones? Do people even have phones anymore? And then I was confused.
What are phones? Okay, I was not that confused. I wasn't. I didn't have problems because I thought she led into it okay, because normally there would be some kind of segue and then there would be a break. So I guess I didn't.
I think I got better at differing or like figuring out the different time periods as the book went on, but the very beginning I was definitely very lost.
Yeah. And that might have been, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but that might have been, kind of leading you into figuring stuff out. So yeah, I wasn't. Anyway, that's the whole deal. I just was not expecting her to be 70 years old. I thought maybe she would be like 40 years old and it would be like in the 60s is kind of what I was expecting for no real reason, honestly.
For no real reason?
No, not really. I mean, they never said. I guess I just assumed it was kind of, oh God, this is so terrible. I assumed it was kind of a middle-aged thing. So yeah, that sounds terrible.
Like a midlife crisis sort of a situation?
Yeah, kind of. I know, that's terrible.
I mean, it makes sense.
Well, without any other cues, I didn't expect. Well, you don't often see main characters who are that old,
right?
You just don't.
You really don't.
That's okay. That's my only defense. But anyway, it's beginning of the present time is around Palm Sunday, Easter, and in the mail she gets a letter that's from the Ukraine, and it's opened and it's empty. It's just an envelope and there's no return address. And so she starts kind of freaking out, wondering who from her past found her, especially anyone left in Ukraine. Because then again, she thinks her whole family's dead. So
she was extremely paranoid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was like almost the Final Girl support group. That main character, her paranoia, like totally matched this lady's.
I actually did. I was curious, so I read. I guess it was a thing that, like, so many of them, like said, they've been captured by Germans, and then like how Nadia, the main character, how she got out of Germany or out of the Ukraine was that she basically got sent to a German work camp. So pretty much those people could be seen as traitors by the Soviets who took over Ukraine after World War II.
Oh.
And so they were a lot of people who immigrated to America changed their name because they were afraid that if the Soviets found out that they would punish their families that still lived in Ukraine. So it was kind of a thing.
Here I am with my privilege over here, not having to worry about these things.
It was a thing. So she was kind of founded, but at the same time, she thought everybody's dead. So I don't know what she was worried about. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I think that's just because she just didn't know if everybody was dead or not.
She was pretty sure.
Yeah, that is true.
Because, I mean, when she got that letter, she sure didn't think of family.
She thought it was from Stephen, right? Didn't she?
Did she? I don't remember. Oh, maybe she did for a minute, because she never knew for sure what happened to Stephen. She thought he was dead because that old man told her.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the start of it all. So I ended up getting my my preconceived notions blown out of the water right away. So it took me a little bit to catch up.
Yeah.
To what was going on. Yeah.
I would have liked there to have been more supernatural aspects to it. I think that would have made it better. Because, I mean, like I said, it wasn't a terrible book, but it also was just kind of dull in the way that everything was presented. And I think having like a huge supernatural moment or two would have just made it better, more entertaining to read for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because like even when the ghost did appear, they just were like, oh, okay, there's a ghost here. Like, oh, no big deal.
You really weren't sure if it was just her.
Right.
Because it was
just like her memory.
Her belief system. If she was, if she really did see ghosts, or if it's just was in her head. I don't know. It was never really clear what that was either.
Yeah.
And like the times that, they would visit her in the house, again, you really weren't entirely sure if it was really just her imagining these things or if it was real. So yeah, the whole supernatural element was just really wasn't there.
It was definitely lacking.
So again, not what I was expecting this to be.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, afterwards, I went to see how it was shelved in Amazon. Yeah.
What did they put it as, a horror movie?
No, historical fiction, family drama. I guess I should have looked at that beforehand.
Yep, they have it right.
But dang it, I got this because it said, if you liked Ghost Bride.
Well, I could see that. There's a little bit, there's some similarities between them. I also gave Ghost Bride like 3 stars. I didn't think it was that.
You didn't like that one? I didn't remember that.
No. It was a pretty meh book for me as well.
I loved Ghost Bride.
I think they are very similar as far as how they did their supernatural stuff. Okay, or not. I don't know.
No, in Ghost Bride, they actually she went into
they did go into like
whole realm of the dead. It was like really real.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Because I love the book, so I paid attention.
Yeah.
So no, this one did not.
They did have one really good, like ghosty scene that I liked, and I made a comment about it because I remember I was reading it at work, and I just got like total chills over my body because, of course, it involved a child, and when there's child ghosts, then I'm just like, no, get me the heck out of here, Oh,
are you talking about in the camp?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, there was I guess trigger warning.
Yeah.
There was an abortion scene, and she found out that she was pregnant with Pablo's baby, and she didn't want to have the child. She didn't want to bring the kid into that world, and then also I think because it was Pablo's,
he wasn't treating her very well.
No, he was he was abusive.
Yeah.
And so she didn't want to have the kid, and she had Mama P fix her up some herbs and some tea, and she took that, and that got rid of her baby. And it was like the craziest scene because the kid was like, Mama, why don't you love me? Why don't you want me? Like, Mama, I'm here. I'm like you. I chose you. And it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna start crying. Like, stop. This is not okay. It was crazy. Like that was a really well done scene.
Yeah.
For sure. It, like I said, it gave me chills.
Yeah, that one really was.
That was really good. But yeah. So were her and Pablo married at that point? Could they have gotten married in the camp?
I don't think so, because I think at one point in there it basically said that he just told her to come live with him.
Okay.
And that basically when they would get married.
Mm-hmm.
But, which I don't understand why not. There was a priest in the camp.
Yeah.
So, but then again, the priest did not like Pablo either. So I don't know if that was a problem.
Which, honey, that's a sign. If your priest don't like the guy, maybe don't stay with him.
Yeah. I don't know. Mama P didn't like him either.
I know there's so many people that didn't like him.
So I don't know why. I mean, do you think she really? Okay, maybe not in the end. I mean, at the end, she obviously did love him, but do you think she did, or do you think she saw a protector, or eventually a way out of the camp because she was all alone otherwise?
I think it started as an infatuation at the beginning. Like, here was this good-looking guy who was actually giving her attention, and she never really experienced that before. So it was kind of like that first time infatuation thing. And then it got to the point where I think she was kind of just scared of him. And
well, I think she was scared for him too, because remember she found him that one night in the garden crying.
Yeah.
And like wanting to die. And she sat with him.
That was really early on, I think, before the abuse kind of started.
Was it?
I thought so.
Or was
that kind of at the beginning?
I thought that was close to when Andre showed up, because then she really didn't feel like she had a choice. She had to stay with Pablo. You know,
maybe
because that was even Andre showed up even before the baby.
Yeah. Well, he showed up when that was the first time that she had said that she was pregnant, was when Andre showed up. She's like, I can't run away with you. I'm pregnant.
Right.
And then, Mama P was like, well, if you get rid of this child, then you can't come with us anyway. Like, I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I don't remember the exact timeline of those, but I do know she felt like she didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And then when she ended up, because she ended up pregnant, and then basically the only way she felt like if she didn't have a child was to get rid of the child, but then Mama P wouldn't have her after that. So that was a problem. So she really was stuck. I mean, she really didn't have any choice in the matter, really. So that was kind of the way.
I was kind of surprised that no one was super upset over the kid being like she getting pregnant when they're not married. I don't know if that was more common since it was the camp and they really couldn't, but I don't know.
Well, did anybody know except for Mama P and Andre and her?
No.
I don't think anybody else knew.
But I thought Mama P would have been mad about it. She seemed like she was really strict.
Mad about it. Well, but see, by that point, she was living with Pablo.
Yeah.
So
she probably expected it.
I think they saw them. I mean, well, you kind of would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Saw them as married. Anyway. But I don't know. I thought it was kind of harsh, you know. Although Andre did offer to be the child's father and raise it as his own. So
okay.
She did have that.
Andre, though.
Yeah.
That man, crazy. He's crazy. If some guy had come up to me and said those things like, you were in my dream, I love you, I will never leave. Like, no. I would run so far. Like, I would just be like, you were straight crazy. Get away from me. I would rather stay with the abuser. It's like, I was not surprised that she didn't want to run away with this man because he's just over here just being like, oh gosh, I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Andre sounds straight up cray with his dream talk. I would run. That is what I wrote.
I don't know. I mean, you got to figure their culture, though. That really wasn't an odd thing. I mean, you know, Nadia certainly didn't think twice about it.
That is true. And she did have a lot of, like, her own kind of, like, dreams and visions and things that they...
Yeah.
Still, gonna be coming into this camp and being like, woman, I love you.
She actually gives you a supernatural element and you don't like it.
That was just weird. I suppose. I don't know. I don't think of dreams when I think supernatural. I just think like ghosts.
Well, she was talking about, Mama P's always said that she had a personal relationship with God and that he listened to her prayers and took them, seriously and all this. And so, she said, take my words to Andre. And
that is true.
That's
and it
what
worked.
happened.
It straight up worked, apparently.
Apparently so. So anyway, yeah, that didn't kind of strike me. I think that was kind of set up.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know why she didn't just go with him. She wasn't happy.
No, and aside from the crazy talk, he seemed like he was a good guy, and he was Mama P's son, so like you knew that he was gonna be decent.
I didn't make a mess of my egg. The marker doesn't stay very well. Yeah, I don't know.
If I had to choose between Pablo and Andre, I would have chose Andre.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, okay.
And I guess in a way,
was there a little part of you that was maybe expecting Andre to do something terrible?
Yes.
Like rape her or something in the camp?
Oh, that night?
No, just like, when Mama P had talked him up so much and he was really put forth as
this amazing guy.
Yeah. And that, I kind of halfway was expecting him to be, a bastard.
Yeah.
Look at my poor egg.
Aww. Maybe you can color over that.
Maybe I can. My flowers are pretty sad anyway. So yeah, I was kind of expecting that to happen, and it didn't. He turned out to be just exactly what he was touted to be. Hi, Fred. Anyway, I did think that something like that was going to happen, though. Hi, Fredo.
Yeah, and like when they they met up again after the play and stuff. They went. Was that the night of the play, or was that New Year's when they went back to the house? Hi.
New Year's, because the night of the play, she went to a party with him, and then she went home, didn't she? Or maybe he. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Fredo. I can't. Yeah, no, I don't remember.
He started kissing her and doing stuff, and I was just like, oh, this man, he just trying to get some, clearly.
No.
But he actually turned out to be a gentleman.
He did.
They were stopped by Pablo, though.
Come here, Fred.
He's okay. He's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they went. She went to the show. He took her to the after party. Then they went and had coffee at a diner. No, he dropped her off at home, and then
it must have been the New Year's one. Then.
Yeah,
because they were at her house. And they were watching the countdown, and then he started kissing her and stuff, and then Pablo's picture fell off the counter or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Oh, jealous husband."
Yeah.
And then that just was like, she started freaking out, like, "Oh my God, Pablo, I'm so sorry, I disrespected you." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that happened.
Which I think was part of the lead up into her seeing all the ghosts and everything like that. So
yeah, I was surprised by Pablo's death.
I was too.
I didn't think that they were going to kill him off and just kill him off so unceremoniously.
Yeah.
It was just he was in the hospital after surgery doing great, and then all of a sudden phone call hey, he's dead. What?
Yeah, I was not expecting that either. I really wasn't.
Definitely, I think that I don't know. I didn't quite care for that. To be honest, I didn't like Pablo very much. But I think he could have died better.
Yeah, I didn't really like him as an old. I mean, I did like him actually as an old man,
Yes.
not as a young man. But then again, as a young man, he had all kinds of, nasty problems too. So
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. But yeah, I did like him. It was really neat to see like how comfortable they were together, and
But really, were they?
Yeah, I think so. Fred, get down.
I don't know, because like she didn't feel like she could talk to him about all of her stuff, and like she should have been able to.
Yeah, but he didn't talk to her either.
Right. So were they actually that comfortable with each other?
I think so. I think they were comfortable together. Now, whether they had, but Nadia didn't talk to anybody about anything. Well, except for Anna.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even think she told Anna everything. But I wonder if it isn't like part of that generation, that grew up in that, would you really want to revisit that all the time?
No, but I think
You know what I mean?
I think it would have benefited them both to have at least told somebody and got it all out, especially each other, because they would have a better understanding of what they each went through since they both lived through that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could have helped them out a lot, because I think not just spent like her whole life just stuck in the past and always concerned with the past, and she could have saved herself a lot of stress and pain and worry and all of that if she would have just gotten it all out sooner.
Well, sure.
And moved on.
But I think it's that whole, how she couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, it was closer to the end. I think when she was talking, when she finally told Katya some stuff, her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And, there was a whole where she was frozen for a minute because she had portrayed herself in a certain way to her family and wanted her family she wanted her family to believe she was a certain kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
And if she started talking, then maybe she wouldn't be that person. And so, and she, at 70 years old, do you really want that kind of conflict? So I get it.
I don't want that kind of conflict at 27. So.
Right? So, plus she felt huge guilt over things. So, I mean, I understand.
It makes some good points there, Kelly. Why
she didn't, and especially when, Pablo himself was even more like, it's in the past, just forget it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to talk about this.
Right.
So, I don't think they really, nobody really wanted to talk about it. Just let it go. It was too painful to talk about. Well, they should have, especially Nadia, obviously. But why? Why did Pablo take her letter? I don't understand that. I mean,
well, yeah, because it's not like he was saying in the letter that like, oh, I still love you and I want to be with you. I'm gonna find you someday. Like, no. He's like, I married your sister and we had a wonderful life and she's brave and adventurous and everything that you were, and like, I don't want you no more. I've moved on. So
I hope you can be happy. I hope you're happy, and I hope you can forgive us.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why, unless he didn't want her, because he was always jealous.
He was always jealous.
About her. So even when, she gave him no reason to be.
Maybe he was just like really insecure about things, and he was worried that she would try and reconnect and leave him.
Or that, which he had to have known the way that he behaved in the camp. She should have left him, quite frankly.
Yeah.
She should have. So, and maybe he thought if all of this got brought up again, that she would leave him this time. Maybe. At 70 years old.
Because that's what you're gonna do. But you never know.
Well,
People do things.
You know, if he felt like, you know, she was only with him because she didn't have any choice in the matter otherwise, maybe that's why. But I don't know, it kind of bugged me. After his whole spiel of, after this many years, I ought to trust you. After she flat out asked him if he took her letter. Anyway.
I don't know. That's one thing I can't stand is the lying.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that part. But
well, no, because he took her damn letter. But anyway, yeah, I didn't quite, I don't know. If he really, like said, he had that whole big spiel, if he really did think that she would leave him, if he really didn't trust her after all these years. Maybe that was it. I don't know. But anyway, he took the letter.
Yeah. I need to pop up.
What else? What else you got there? I feel like we're
know.
wandering all over the place.
Just a smidge.
Because I think I'm paying more attention to my coloring.
There was a quote in there that said that cats didn't usually like Pablo, and I wrote, "Girl, that's not a good sign. If your cats don't like him, leave." Cats know, man.
They know.
Yep. What else? I just said that I didn't like any of her love interests at all.
Neither.
There wasn't one that I was like really rooting for them to be together or rooting
No.
for them to win her.
But didn't you think that, let that dry a little bit before I try anything else. Okay, that it should have been Steven at the end instead of Andre.
Yes. I would have preferred that. That would
Me
have
too.
been my
Like a full circle
yeah.
kind of thing.
That would have been my final choice, and I was really kind of sad when it turns out that he, you know, married her sister.
Mm-hmm.
And did all that. Like, well, dang, okay.
I really thought it would have been, like I said, a nice full circle thing if it had been Steven.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, but yeah, I really thought it should have been.
Oh well. We weren't the author.
It wasn't.
No.
It wasn't. Okay. Do you remember when they were on the train and that old woman, the Babalina, that ate all the food and wouldn't share?
Yes.
And everybody was mad at her?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when she was talking about what she had gone through? It was in World War I, and everybody, all of her sons had died, all her kids were killed.
Oh, yeah.
And then she was talking about just her and her blind son, and basically how they survived when there was no food and stuff. Do you know what that was talking about? I just saw this. Stalin, I don't know why. I don't know why he did it, actually. I don't remember why. Whatever political reason there was, but I don't know if there was a rebellion and he was trying to quell it or whatever. Anyway, he basically starved Ukraine. He basically went in and blocked up. They could not get food. They literally starved them. And like millions of people died at this. I can't remember what it was called, but
so worse than the concentration camps.
That's what Babalina was talking about, was that everybody was dying of starvation, and basically she and her son lived because they ate their cats.
They ate their cats?
Was it the cats or was it dogs?
I thought they were talking about people.
Oh, maybe they did. Did I miss that?
I don't know.
Oh, now I have to look at this.
Maybe I misread that, or maybe like my
well, that would have been better. I mean, not better. You know what I mean.
That would have been
For
more
a
shocking of a thing.
Story.
Yeah, maybe I'm just like making up a whole new story.
I don't know, but that would have been awesome. For the story. Okay, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go back and look at that though, because now I'm gonna be thinking about it all different. But anyway, I wasn't sure I thought that she was just talking about like food shortages during the war or something. Um, but then she kept talking about Stalin trying to starve them out. Stalin did this or whatever. And that's when I realized that that's what she was talking about. She lived through that.
Wow, I didn't know that happened. So
Yeah, it was pretty. I can't remember what that was called. But I thought that was pretty neat. I'm just gonna look up what that was called. So I mean, I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy the book. Because I enjoyed those things looking back. Well, it's like we were talking last month about civil rights, how you kind of know it existed, but you really didn't know.
Right.
I kind of feel like this too. I mean, World War. I mean, well, maybe I shouldn't say everybody, but oh my gosh! Sorry, I just pulled up Google so I could do that. Naomi Judd died.
Yeah, that happened like yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so sad. Okay, I loved her. Okay, so it's the same way. I mean, not to sound flippant, but like everybody knows about the Nazis and the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
But and everybody knows that Stalin basically, as spoils of World War II, took over half of Eastern Europe.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know, what happened, or the details, or how these people got taken to work camps, and where she was a maid at first and then had to leave, and then they went back to these work camps, and how they lived and how that all played out, and talking about the Soviets seeing them as traitors even though they didn't have a choice. And I don't know, it's details like that I did enjoy, because
this egg is not doing great.
The Holodomor?
The famine.
Yeah, the Great Famine. Was a famine in Soviet Ukraine. 32 to 33. Killed millions.
Almost 4 million.
So there you go. Okay.
Crazy.
Anyway, yeah. And maybe it was because the famine that Stalin came in and took all of Ukraine's grain or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, he basically starved the entire country to death.
Well, what a big meanie.
Yeah. So, anyway, I liked learning about that. I liked the details. I liked how I thought it was really good how she, at least to me, it didn't feel like a history lesson. It was it really woven into the story.
Yeah.
Very well.
It definitely did feel more like it was an account, someone's account to all of that, and not just, like a textbook, which I appreciated as well.
Yeah. So I like that. Fred. I hope you can't hear that.
It's fast time over here.
Yeah. My cat is cleaning herself, and let's not, never mind. What else did I say? Oh, I really liked the addition of all the culture. I never felt like it was too much. I never felt like it was unnecessary even.
Right.
I thought it was really, really well included in the story.
Yeah. And it was really interesting too.
Yeah.
I always enjoy kind of learning about other cultures and their traditions and stuff like that. And I felt like it was kind of similar to, I don't know if this is like a bad thing to say, but like Czechoslovakia and some things.
Let's get one thing straight right now. A kolache is not bread.
No.
Okay? It is not. Czech people know. We know.
Every time I read kolache, I'm just like, they're having good stuff. And then it'd be like, oh, braided bread. No. It is a pastry. It's
round sweet dough
with
filled with fruit and it's best if it's topped with a crumble of
That's
butter.
not necessary.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Frosting is gross. Don't do frosting.
Who puts frosting on?
The bakery in Florence does. Makes it way too sweet.
Yeah, I know. You just need the
That-
dough and the fruit.
That is a
all you need.
collage.
That's a collage.
That's a collage.
Yeah, or kolache. That's how I say it.
Whichever. And you people in Texas, you've got it wrong too.
Yeah.
It does not have meat.
No, that's a Burock. Our little rant.
It's not a pizza pocket. It's not a hot pocket. It's fruit. Okay.
Anyway,
Sorry.
our little tangent. Oh, yeah.
I did, however, also Veronica. The way she was making Veronica is also not how I know Veronica, but
Isn't that German?
German Russian, I think, but it's the dough basically around cottage cheese is how I've always had it. I can't remember how she was describing it, but it sounded a whole lot better the way she was making it. But yeah, no. Sorry, Ukrainian people. You got it wrong. That is not a collage.
That eggs a failure.
There is a bakery up by Kansas City, though, that makes it that way. Just saying. But to me, that's not pavlova. That's meringue. Never mind. I'm not going to be able to think of the word. But yeah. Okay, so sorry.
No, it's okay. We are on our tangent.
Yeah. All of the traditional baking and
that was really cool.
yeah.
I like that a lot.
Just the traditions, like the greeting with the
With the
pussy willows.
the pussy
Yeah.
AKA palms. Isn't that the same?
No.
Are they not the same?
No.
Oh,
No.
my thought.
See, I don't know where the pussy willow or the willow was. It pussy willow or is it like a
Pussy
willow
willow.
switch? They did say pussy
Yeah.
willow. Okay, so that's like the stick that has the little white tufts
Oh yeah.
coming
yeah,
out on it, right?
they say
Okay,
that.
and obviously a palm is a palm.
Just a leaf.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of cool. How they always set a plate for their ancestors, their beloved dead. That was cool. There's just a lot of cool. The tree, which I'm assuming why the name of the book is The Silence of Trees. Because of the tradition about the tree that the spirit of their loved one would inhabit a tree nearby, and that you could go to that tree and visit.
I really like that a lot.
Which I thought was very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So there was really, really cool elements to this book. And then, even though it wasn't what I was expecting, it was this older woman coming to terms with her past. And it was also kind of a mom and daughter story, because her whole relationship with her daughter Katya and her niece, what was her niece?
Lesia.
Lesia. I think that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's Lesia.
I didn't know how to pronounce any of the names in this book.
Yeah, there's a lot of names I didn't know. Lesia.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm assuming it's Lesia. So I think, just a story about the three of them, 3 generations of women in this family, even though Katya was not Lesia's mom. But I enjoyed that whole progression of them kind of coming to terms with each other.
Right.
To an extent. Some of it was not. I don't know if you know what we're thinking the same thing I am about Katya. I think she was gay.
I think so
she's
too.
a lesbian.
Her and Robin, I think they were together.
Yeah, I think so too. There was really strong hints that Katya was in a sapphic relationship, but not addressed at all.
No.
And I'm assuming Katya would probably never tell her mother that. Never.
Which I think is not okay.
Especially after, they reacted to Lesia's German boyfriend.
Oh my God. I thought that Pablo was going to die right then and there from a stroke or something.
Man alive. But I think it is kind of for me, the strength of the writing is that there for a hot minute you agreed with them. How could Leslie do that to them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did she not understand? Even though knowing that it shouldn't, I mean, they're going to have their feelings. Of course they are for good reason, but that Leslie was right. I mean, this kid had nothing to do with anything.
Right.
But again, the strength of being led through what they went through, that, yeah, there for a hot minute, I was like, how dare she? Yeah.
I don't know. I was on Leslie's side the whole time. Like, he had nothing to do with this. Stop yelling at her.
Yeah. Yeah. But you could sympathize.
I could see where they were coming from.
Yeah.
And I did. I went back and forth playing devil's advocate for both sides.
I mean, that's what I said. The strength of her writing or leading you through and describing what they went through, that it was pretty easy to sympathize with them on that, even knowing they were being dumb.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that, yeah. Anyway, yeah, just the growth of their relationship. Because I think Lesia started out pretty.
She was very rebellious. And, well,
not rebellious. I don't.
What's the word? Her and her mom didn't get along very well. And there was there was conflict there. And she was just being a teenager.
But she wasn't a teenager. She's like 26, 27 years old.
Oh, God, I missed that, too.
She was writing that paper for her graduate studies.
Yeah. Well, she was acting like a child.
I thought at the very beginning when they first introduced her, I thought she was a teenager. I did.
Yes. The way that she acted at the beginning, she definitely seemed like a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Guess not.
Yeah, no, she was, yeah. But I think at the beginning she was kind of dismissive of her grandparents.
A little bit.
Like, well, this is all just silly stuff, but I need it for my paper for school, kind of thing. I could understand why Nadia wouldn't talk to her, because I think she even said at one point, I'm not going to tell my story to somebody who doesn't respect me.
Right.
And she wasn't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Leslie was being very dismissive. But so it was kind of that whole, I think, leading it through. Because you saw it when they were doing their eggs, too. When Katya was trying to teach her. And Lesia kept saying, you don't really believe in this stuff, do you? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think you saw it there. But, by the end,
they
those
definitely
three
saw everything differently.
Right. So I enjoyed.
Should have happened sooner.
Well,
I
it
wish
should
Nadia would have just.
But
I don't. It's fine.
Again,
it's fine.
I get why people didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Now I'm talking up in Okay, so along that line, though, I would really have liked to have seen this book from 3 different perspectives.
Yes, I think that would have made it better.
Yeah, I do too. From Nadia, Katya, and Lesia.
Mm.
Those 3. I really would have enjoyed. I think it would have been a much richer book. Because being in Nadia's head all the time, you got her insecurities, you got her fears, you got, everything that she was damaged by.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah. But you didn't. And then at the end, when I think it was when Nadia asked Katya, what do you see when you look at your mama? And Katya talks about this bold, strong woman. So, and it's like, that's not who we see.
Well, she said something about how, like, she sees someone who's been trying to be strong and all of this, but there was something else. Like, she had said that she, like, recognized that she wasn't happy or something. Like, there was a front that she was putting on to try and be strong for the family. I don't remember. It was when they were in the church. It was right after that question.
Well, yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
you go into it going, what? That is not at all, who we see through this story. So, I don't know. It was kind of weird. So, but if you'd seen, well, kind of around when Pablo died, I think you do. But
I see a woman who has lived her whole life trying to be strong, trying to carry the world around so life will be easier for her family. And then she's like, Mama, what are you so afraid of?
mm-hmm.
She nailed it.
Yeah. That was in the chapel, wasn't it? When they were in the hospital? Yeah. So I think it would have been really beneficial to get from the other perspectives about how they saw Nadia and what they thought of her.
Right.
And their own things, as far as like Lesia being afraid to tell her grandparents that she had a German boyfriend.
Yeah, I want to know more about Lucas.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Conversations between those two about
how to tell the families. Like, how did his family react to know that he was dating a Ukrainian girl?
Yeah. So things like that, but and for Katya, because obviously Katya had this big thing going on. I mean, Nadia talks all the time about how Katya never married, but she would have been such a good mother. And wasn't she a teacher anyway? I think she was a teacher. And then when she calls Katya for help, within an hour, she arrives with Robin.
Like, hello.
And Nadia never thinks of anything. Nothing. She never questions it, never thinks nothing. So, and again, I think we talked about this a minute ago, but that Katya would never tell her mother that.
Oh, no.
And whether that's because she didn't want to go through what Nadia went through, even worse, or if it was respect for her parents that she would never, I don't know, but.
I think too, I don't know how religious the kids were, but the whole family was Catholic, and in the Catholic Church, that is a big.
Well, yeah, very true.
A big no-no. So I feel like with her mom being so faith-driven, it would have been difficult for her to maybe handle having a kid that chose that life. Or not chose that life, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. Well, it would have been. I mean, and I think that's why maybe, like I said, if Katya just wouldn't do it, just to not put her mother through that, or what, I don't know. But it would have been nice to know. It would have been nice to know if she struggled wanting to tell her mother, but couldn't, or something. I don't know. Is this not the most pathetic tree you've ever seen? I don't think you can see it. There it is. Isn't that sweet?
It's cute. It's better than my ocean over here.
It's nothing. Anyway, I think it would have been so much better book if there had been other perspectives and other things going on outside of Nadia, outside of that house. I think.
No, I totally agree with you. Because it kind of, I don't know, it kind of got a little old, just like hearing stuff from inside Nadia's head, and I don't know, it was kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like the whole time we're just over here sad and we're unhappy and we're thinking about the what ifs and what could have been. It's like, I don't really want to read this anymore. It's just like, now I'm over here thinking about my own well, what if it could have been, and like, I don't need this. So, I don't know.
But yeah, it would have been better with different perspectives.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it would just be much better, more complete book. Yeah. And, kind of on that line too, there were way more characters than there needed to be. Like, Did she really need a daughter, Ivanka, when you weren't going to do anything with Ivanka?
No.
Like nothing?
I forgot about Ivanka.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Is that really necessary? I don't think it was.
Nope. But, oh no.
And the other daughter, too. I mean, they could have done more with that.
Yeah.
I mean, because, the way it was just kind of like, oh, she's a treat.
Yeah. I didn't understand why there were so many people.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Less is more, or less is best.
Sometimes I just, if you're not going to use them in any way, why even have them? Makes no sense to me. So that kind of bugged me. I did not like that part, that there was so much of her family that never got any screen time, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Even the two sons that she did talk about, Mark and Taurus, even they weren't really featured very much.
Mm-mm.
Certainly more than Ivanka.
Yeah, that poor girl.
She got nothing.
No love from Mama.
No, none at all. Just that, she just pulled away from the family.
Yeah.
Okay. She was on honeymoon in Germany and with her husband.
Who honeymoons in Germany? I'll never understand.
Who would want to do that? And that was it. And then I think Ivanka made an appearance at the funeral, Pablo's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I think he did.
And at Christmas, I think. But she never actually said anything, though. She never had any lines. No, nothing.
It was just like, oh, Ivanka's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Roman.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think we didn't need to have that. But remember her whole guilty thing over her son. What did we decide his name was?
Nicola.
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 I don't know.
I'm about to say Michelob,
Mickey.
Yeah.
Well, Mickey.
Yeah.
That she was holding on to the fact that because Mama P, was it Mama P that told her there has to be balance, or was that the fortune teller that told her that? I can't remember.
It was a fortune.
Anyway, she basically got to the point that because she had an abortion, that's why her son Mikola died in the Vietnam War. And I thought, well, that's sad.
That's very depressing.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So, yeah. No, well, that is a big thing to hold on to, and no wonder you wouldn't want to talk about. Because if you told anybody that you felt guilty over your son's death, then you'd have to tell them why, and
no one wants to ever revisit that.
Nobody wants to talk about that. So
no. It's not really a proud moment you share with people.
Yeah. So I get it. I get that, but I thought that was kind of sad. Sad.
Yeah.
Sad. Birds don't really
your birds look better than my birds. Mine just look like little V's.
Well, that's really all mine are.
Oh, that's
very flat.
Very wet in there.
Oh, is it?
Oh well. That's okay. Yeah. So what did you think about the letter being from her sister? I didn't see that coming.
I did not either.
No,
that was a surprise. That
got me.
Because she was absolutely certain that they had all died in that fire.
Yeah.
Positive. So yeah, that one that threw me for a loop. But I didn't understand really why it took her so long. Because she found the letter, and then it was days before she called her sister. And I don't understand why it took her so long. I mean, in her memories, she was all about talking about how close they were. It was her youngest sister, Valya, and how close they were and how she would sing to her or tell her stories when she was having nightmares. And yet, all because when Stephen came back and Nadia wasn't there, he married Valya. Well, and? I mean, 50 years later, you've been married to another guy and quasi sort of in love with another guy. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Except maybe, I don't know, if she, held on to Stephen for so long as her first love and that he died and that's why it was okay for her to, I don't know, if that added to her guilt for not going back to Ukraine.
I think she definitely did have a lot of guilt for not returning, because I think that letter was very good and very bad for her in many ways, because obviously she's going to be happy that her sister is still alive, but at the same time it's like she is losing her whole family all over again. Like, all these people she thought were dead were actually not. Like, some of them were still alive, and she could have gone and like spent time with them and been with them. And I don't know, it was just like, I don't know if I would have wanted a letter from my sister at that point. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm really glad that they're all alive, or that she's alive now, and that I guess Stephen survived and they had a really happy life, but I thought they were dead. Let me think that.
Okay, so maybe that answers what I was thinking, because they had this telephone conversation and it wasn't very long. But I mean, they pretty much just kind of said, oh, oh, you got my letter. I'm so glad you called. And I think even Valya said, can you forgive us? But, like I said, for me, I'm like, what is to flipping forgive?
Because she took her Stephen.
Well, actually, they thought Nadia was dead.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sorry. She did the same thing. Stephen was dead. Mm-hmm. So anyway, they talk about family, and actually, Valya had a Mikolas son as well, who also died in Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. So, but that was the only child that they had. So basically, now Stephen is dead, and now Valya's alone, and she's on the phone with her, with her
long lost sister,
her sister that she thought was dead, her favorite baby sister. And she doesn't tell her to come to America. And I'm like, really? You wouldn't just like say she's alone in Ukraine. This is still Soviet Ukraine at that point. They're not independent. And talking about how hard it is to live there. And now Pavlo is dead. And so Nadia's alone. Well, sort of. But Valya could be brought into this big, extended family that she has now. And she just says, well, it's good talking to you. I'm like, really?
That's not okay.
What? What does she say in the end? I mean, it wasn't kind of that cold. Basically, it was like very late at night in Ukraine and very early in the morning for Nadia. And they were both tired.
Still, like, why is no one making plans to get together?
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to see your sister?
I mean, basically, Valya says, we have so much to talk about, so much to share, but I'm tired, so tired. And Nadia is thinking, she sounds so old and exhausted. So I said, of course, I understand. And then they hung up, and there was no like, I'll call you in the morning, or I'll call you tomorrow, or anything, nothing. I mean, I'm sorry. I guess I just figure my sister that I thought for 50 years was dead, or longer than 50 years, actually.
I'd be on the next plane
And she's on the.
somewhere.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Like,
Because Andre would have taken her. I mean, in a
right.
heartbeat.
He
would have
probably
gone
had
with.
a private jet that
Probably.
they could have taken. And
He would have at least gone with her to make sure she got there okay.
yeah, he's a frequent flyer. He knows what to do.
Well, it was kind of through him.
Oh yeah, they found each other.
That they found each other anyway.
Yeah.
So I just can't. I would get off the phone without saying, "Hey, when can I call you? When can, would you come? Will you come here? I can get you out of Soviet Ukraine. Will you come here?" I don't know. I didn't quite. I don't know. Maybe Nadia needed to make a little more peace with her past before she could do that. I don't know.
Well, because she was already talking before she even had called her sister about how she's like, well, what is she gonna come and stay with me? Like, what are we going to do? She was already kind of like trying to make plans.
Yeah, and then
she calls her and
nothing.
Nope. Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I was disappointed with that phone call because I really thought, here it is that she has made peace with her past. She has told her family pretty much everything. Well, Katya everything, but she told her family, that basically she lied about her identity to them all her life in order to protect anybody who might still be living in Ukraine. She's come to peace with all of this stuff. Speaking to her sister should have been like icing on the cake. And it was just like another knife in the heart instead. And I didn't get that. I didn't understand that part, but disappointed. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
In that part.
That was disappointing.
And again, it should have been Stephen at the end and not Andre. Should have been. I don't know.
I don't know.
It was cool how they found each other though, or how Nadia found, or how Valya found Nadia through the American soldier, and then
and then Anna helped too, right?
She did. Yeah.
She had a partner, and I think that was really special too.
Well, when Anna tried to get Nadia to go to New York with her to see one of Andre's plays, because Andre had sent her tickets, and she wouldn't go, and Anna and Nikki went, and they talked to him afterwards, and that's how. Yeah. Kind of cool.
That's a best friend. I liked her a lot.
Anna was pretty neat.
Yeah. Why did she have to die?
But how she died. Like, dang.
That was an extravagant death.
That was. That was.
You could pick a way to die.
She was a pretty extravagant person, I think.
Yes.
Seemed like, anyway.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
She was my favorite character.
The dead friend.
Yes. I don't know. I just liked her because, she was just herself. Like, no holds bar. She was who she was, and she was loud, and she was just, a really great friend to Nadia.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved her. She needed to be in the book more and not dead, and I would have been happier.
Well, it might have made things too easy for Nadia, though, because then she would have had Anna right there saying things. But what was it with... Well, and I guess it's probably true, but all of these things going on that Nadia didn't know about. Like Anna talking to Andre, and, Pavlo stole her letter. And it seems like there was something else that went on that she was like, I didn't know that. It was somebody else who was towards the end, I don't remember, but I'm like, really? Maybe if you got your head out of your ass and
out of the past,
maybe you'd notice things a little bit more. But or maybe everybody was just really good at keeping secrets. I don't know.
That seemed like there were a lot of secrets happening in the family.
But then again, different perspectives. Because maybe, Katya could have known what was going on and said, hey, I can't even believe that Mom doesn't know about this.
Yeah.
I I don't know.
Valya, for your next book, different perspectives.
That'd be awesome. That would be great.
Yeah.
I did, though. I did appreciate having a main character as an older person. I think that was really neat.
Yeah,
You don't get that very often.
No.
And to get that richness of experience, I kept thinking, and maybe I'm not 70, but we're getting up there. If you can't see the gray in my hair, it's there.
Yeah.
But yours is mine's natural. I come by it natural. Especially when she would talk about Lesia or think about Lesia and think about impulsivity of youth and how she just doesn't understand, and kind of that. I think, to me, when people get to be a certain age, 70, definitely 80, your Grandma Jane, 100,
almost.
They have earned a certain right to think about people. You know what I mean? They've been around for a while. And so, she would think about Lesia as she just doesn't understand us. She's just too young. And I know it can be easy to go, oh, Grandma just doesn't understand.
Yeah.
She always says I'm too young. She just doesn't know. Grandmas know. So you don't, like I said, you don't get that. I thought she did that really well, as far as for all that Nadia didn't know, some things that were going on. Nadia was a very wise person in of herself. Watching her interact with Lesia, as far as, and even Katya, as far as like knowing when to shut up and just wait.
Right.
And, let them come to her, kind of thing. She was a pretty wise person in a lot of ways. And I think that's really kind of refreshing to see too. And that, older people aren't just the wise old people sitting on their porches. They still have their regrets and their sadnesses and their stupid moments, too.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know. It was neat to see that. I like that. Did we go through your notes?
Yeah, that was all my notes.
That's all your notes?
That's all my notes that I had.
Okay. There you go.
I mean, I would hope so after over an hour.
Have we really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, like an hour, almost 20 minutes. Sorry, people. I didn't even know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that was somewhat entertaining.
Lots of spoilers, so hope you read the book and you could.
Yes. We probably should have said that from the get-go.
Yeah.
Don't watch until you read the book.
I can have that in the description.
But it's a book club discussion. Don't you think people should expect spoilers?
Yeah.
You should expect spoilers in a book club discussion.
So, do you want to show our eggs before we...
No.
I mean, I don't want to show my eggs. They're not good.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
This is really I should have dried that out better. Oh no. Oh, your butterflies.
My butterfly.
Yeah, I should have dried that out a little bit better.
Okay.
Mine's probably, I only did half of this one because I kept smearing the red everywhere. But I did.
Look at your flowers. Oh, that's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty. Flower, I don't even know with the glare on the, there it is. And I did a little garland around.
Very nice.
Watch. I said I was going to watch my facial expressions after watching the last one. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. So mine's just striped. And it's got butterflies and flowers on it. Super artistic and pretty,
Well, again, we're starting off with brown eggs. So.
I think that the brown helped.
You think?
I think the white would have made all of my mistakes too glaringly obvious.
Maybe so. And I have my little tree and my birds.
Kelly's over here. She messaged me back this morning after we had this discussion of what we wanted to do. She's like, I have no artistic ability. This will be fun. Let's do it.
I don't.
She's got beautiful eggs over here.
Oh my god, look at that tree once more. Do you
It
see
looks
that
so
tree?
good.
I can't decide if that's actually like cherries on there or I don't know what I was trying to do. Honestly, I just put red dots on a tree
It's pretty.
with a blue trunk because we have brown markers. But I didn't. Well, when you said something about decorating eggs, not how they did it in the book, because we can't do that. But I have markers and maybe like stencils and stickers.
Like if you're decorating Easter eggs with a 2-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking stencils and stickers. Because
Oh, this is not the glare.
your little ocean.
It's my ocean. This is
Yeah.
where I wish I was right now. Well, not like right now, this moment, but like I wish I was at the beach. There's some fish in there too.
Fishes.
Yeah. And
I see you did 3.
I did. This one is just. This is not. I'm not proud of this. It's just a bunch of squiggles.
It's abstract.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm the next Warhol or whatever.
A metaphor for all of the familial connections in this book. And some of them are very light lines to symbolize the ghostly connections in this book.
What she said. That was exactly what was going through my mind while I was making it.
I have no doubt I can see it.
Yes.
I can see it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So, I think that's where we're going to stop with Silence of Trees for today. Unless you have something else you want to add.
I don't think so.
Did you have a favorite character?
Did I have a favorite character? Katya, I think, was my favorite character. I mean, I didn't dislike any of them, really. I mean, I disliked them all at certain points, but I don't think I disliked any of them.
That's good.
But I think Katya was my favorite. I just thought she was really cool, and I really would have liked to hear more from her.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
What character, like, I don't know how to ask this, like, hit you the most, like, got you in the gut? Because mine's different than my favorite character. I mean, like, gave you a moment where you went, ugh, oh, really? Like, hit you.
Like in a good way or a bad
I
way?
don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. Probably Nadia. Which it seems like an obvious choice because she was the main character. But I don't know. I just don't feel like I saw enough of the other ones to have a moment like that. Where it just was like really, ugh. Oh, my laptop's gonna die.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
I don't know. I just, the Babalina character, once I figured out what was going on with her.
Oh.
And then that poor little Jewish girl.
Oh, in the
on the train.
The Veraska or whatever, the fortune teller.
Oh, the fortune teller.
Oh,
yeah, what happened to her, right?
Gosh.
So, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Just those moments that get you, that little Jewish girl. Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. That one got me. Okay. We're about ready to die. So.
Yeah. Okay, so our next book. I'm so excited for it.
I know you are.
The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's
Here
my pick. So very excited.
Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Love Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Fave. So yes, that is next.
Yep. Sometime in June. Haven't decided yet. I know June's busy. May and June are busy times for everybody, but we'll figure it out.
They are.
We'll let you know.
That will be it. Probably will not be. We've been doing kind of like the first Sunday.
Probably.
That's a big day at our church.
Yeah.
June, the first Sunday in June. So that won't be that day, but maybe the week after. Yeah. Something like that. Because I think the week before is Memorial Weekend, so we don't want to do that either.
Memorial Weekend, Father Capon Day.
Yeah. Then maybe we can move on.
Yes.
Various lives. But anyway,
yes.
We will do it. She'll have it out on her stuff.
Instagram.
I'll have it out on my Instagram.
I'll try and link them down in the description if I can figure out how to do that on a live stream. But
yep. But anyway, that is it. And so we are done again, this was for The Silence of Trees,
Mm-hmm.
and
I think
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not a fave. Not a fave. Not
It
what I
was-
thought. It would have been a fave if it was what I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't. So
It was okay.
it was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay.
So, anyway.
This is next, and we'll see you in June.
Yep.
That's it for tea time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.